On the outskirts of town stood an abandoned house. Once, it had been the home of a happy family, but one fateful day, tragedy struck, and the family met their untimely and inexplicable demise as the rumors spread. Over the course of several decades, people came to know the place as the cursed house, and no one dared to venture near it. However, humans are forgetful creatures. With the passage of time, the memory of the abandoned house faded from the minds of most. But this did not hold true for the local youths. They gathered their courage and resolved to enter the cursed house, seeking an adventurous thrill. At nightfall, the group of friends, Greg, Sarah, Tom, and Emily, arrived at the haunted house. With a mix of excitement and fear, they stepped into the dim and decrepit dwelling. Amidst escalating nervousness, one of them made a suggestion. "What if this house is truly cursed? How about we spend the night inside?" Sarah asked hesitantly. Greg responded confidently, "It's worth a shot, don't you think? Besides, we consider ourselves quite the adventurers, don't we?" As they exchanged glances, they finally made their decision. They would face this terrifying challenge head-on. The friends entered the eerie house, flashlights in hand, ready for an adventurous night. Strange occurrences began to unfold as they explored from room to room. Shadows flickered, and eerie sounds echoed, making some of them sense an unseen presence. "I feel like there's something here," Emily said, trembling. Her friends tried to reassure her, but an awkward tension filled the air. Nevertheless, they mustered their courage, determined to make it through the night. As darkness descended, the haunting escalated. The friends laid out their sleeping bags, trying to get some rest, but the night was anything but peaceful. Unseen by their eyes, a malevolent apparition manifested in the room, a specter of vengeful spirit. With twisted visage, the spirit fixated on the friends, who found themselves paralyzed with fear. They were unable to speak or move as the spirit spoke into their minds. "You cannot forget us." The spirit's voice reverberated through their heads. It was the lingering soul of the family who had perished in the cursed house. Fueled by resentment, the vengeful spirit vowed to make them suffer as it had before death took them. As the night wore on, the friends' fear grew more palpable. The unsettling ambience enveloped them, and their nerves were on edge. They couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, and strange occurrences became more frequent. Emily's trembling intensified, and she whispered, "There's definitely something here with us." Her friends nodded, sharing the same eerie sensation. Yet, they pressed on, exploring further into the haunted house. With each step, the unseen presence seemed to draw nearer, its malevolence growing stronger. They entered a particularly dark and decrepit room, and suddenly, the temperature dropped drastically. The air felt thick with malevolent energy. The friends exchanged anxious glances, but their curiosity kept them moving forward. A sudden gust of wind slammed the door shut behind them, plunging them into darkness. Panic gripped their hearts as they fumbled for their flashlights. When the beams of light cut through the darkness, they saw unsettling shadows flickering on the walls. The haunting sounds escalated, echoes of long-gone memories filled the air. Whispers, sighs, and mournful cries surrounded them. Each member of the group felt an otherworldly presence breathing down their necks. As fear tightened its grip, they questioned their decision to challenge the cursed house. Emily's voice quivered as she spoke, "We shouldn't have come here. We've angered something." Tom tried to keep a brave front, but even he felt the chilling unease. "Let's stay together. We'll make it through this." With their hearts pounding, they huddled close, hoping that their unity would offer some form of protection against the vengeful force that lurked in the shadows. As the night dragged on, the friends' unease only intensified. The malevolent presence seemed to encroach upon them, its intentions growing more sinister with every passing moment. It was as though the vengeful spirit could sense their fear, relishing in their torment. In the flickering light of their flashlights, the friends caught fleeting glimpses of the apparition. Its contorted face was etched into their minds, haunting their thoughts like a relentless nightmare. Terrifying visions and chilling whispers flooded their senses, pushing them to the brink of sanity. "We shouldn't have come here. We shouldn't have disturbed the spirits," Sarah mumbled, her voice shaking. Greg, usually the voice of reason, felt his bravado waning. "There's something here, something that won't let us leave." The vengeful spirit seemed to feed on their terror, growing stronger with each fearful breath they took. It mocked them with the memories of their past, pulling deep-seated fears to the surface. Through the night, it tormented them relentlessly, exploiting their vulnerabilities and weaknesses. No corner of the cursed house was safe from the malevolence that seeped through its walls. Emily's eyes filled with tears, her voice trembling. "Please, let us go. We didn't mean any harm." But the vengeful spirit was deaf to their pleas, its wrath unyielding. The friends huddled together, seeking solace in each other's presence, but it offered little comfort in the face of an otherworldly force. As dawn approached, they clung to the hope that daylight would bring reprieve. But the malevolent entity showed no sign of relenting. The first rays of sunlight offered no relief from the relentless torment they endured. In their weakened state, the friends realized the truth: they had become prisoners to the vengeful spirit's rage. Their fate was sealed in the cursed house, and there was no escape. With the morning light came no salvation. The vengeful spirit's grip on the friends tightened, and despair settled upon them like an impenetrable shroud. The cursed house had become their tomb, and escape seemed impossible. Exhaustion had taken its toll, both physically and mentally. The friends had barely slept, tormented throughout the night by the malevolent entity that showed no mercy. Their bodies ached, their minds were clouded with fear, and hope had long since abandoned them. In a desperate act of defiance, Tom mustered his courage and shouted, "Leave us be. We never wanted any of this." But his plea was met with chilling silence. The vengeful spirit remained unseen, yet its presence loomed over them, suffocating and oppressive. Greg's once optimistic demeanor had vanished, replaced by a defeated expression. "I don't know what we did to deserve this. We're just kids, for crying out loud." As the day dragged on, the friends lost track of time. Each passing moment felt like an eternity in the company of the malevolent entity. They clung to their fading strength, refusing to succumb to the relentless terror. In a final act of desperation, Sarah suggested a plan. Maybe we can break the curse. We need to find what's binding the spirit here." But their search for a solution proved fruitless. The house held its secrets tightly, and the vengeful spirit seemed to draw power from their every attempt to resist. As the sun dipped below the horizon once again, a profound darkness enveloped the cursed house. The friends huddled together, seeking comfort in their shared plight. But it was evident that their fate had been sealed long before they set foot in the haunted dwelling. With their strength waning, the friends knew there was no escape from the vengeful spirit's wrath. Their spirits broken, they silently awaited their inevitable demise. The cursed house had claimed them, and their story would be forgotten like so many others before them. The vengeful spirit's thirst for vengeance would never be quenched, and it would remain forever bound to the cursed dwelling, waiting for the next unfortunate souls to fall into its grasp.